All right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour this in very carefully because I don't want this to splash up on me. And for whatever reason, all right, I'm going to set that aside for me. I'll have to rinse that off. All right, so I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm going to pick this up so you can see it is very, very hot. And you can see the fumes are coming off of it right away. I have lung issues, so I have to be really careful with it. I'm just going to stand back for a minute. This is a cloudy. You see that in there? It's very, very cloudy. I'm going to set it back down because I don't want it to get in it. I'm going to let this sit until it goes clear. All right. I don't know if you saw the steam coming off of the bowl just a minute ago. This will take about 2-3 minutes to go clear. Once it goes clear, I'm going to put it in here, and then I'm going to start adding everything together. One tip that I found that really works is if you add your lye last after all your oils are in here. It works great. It works actually better. So I'm going to set this aside. Everybody's settled down so they're not up here. I'm going to prep this. Another tip is if you are working in a kitchen like I do, in your own home kitchen and you're making soaps, make sure that you have a set of tools and utensils that are set aside for your soaping only. Do not mix your stuff for your home with what you're doing. It's just a safety thing, personally. So, all right, so I'm going to, I forgot I have to measure out my nag Champa. This one's called Champega. All right. And I think I'm going to go with a little bit bigger. I'm going to tear that out. Ooh, that's giving off some. Giving off some fumes here. Okay, so that's zeroed out. I need. Oops. All right, so I have no idea if this is going to seize up on me or not. It might, and if it does, I'll show you guys how I work with it. Don't throw your soaps away. You can still work with them. I just turn them into ugly bars. All right, so just because I know this may spill, I don't like these bottles very well. They do have a tendency to spill, so I'm going to pour this in directly. Come on, 50, 50, 50. A little more. All right, what's my level that I need? I know it's 50. Okay. Oh, it smells so good in my kitchen right now. Okay, one more. Whoops, too much. All right, that's easy to fix. There we go. All right, I'm just going to set that aside in there. I have tons of room on my counter right now, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to clean up real fast. Get that out of here. That container I just had in my hand, I put that here again. I have cats, so I'm going to cover that up so they don't chew on that. What I'll do it in a little bit is I will that drop back down to. Oh, yeah, I need that. Why did it do that? All right, so I got to go back a little bit more for some reason. So I'm saying I think I need a new scale. This thing is acting up on me, and I'm not happy with it. There it goes. 1 minute it tells me it's my measurement, and the next time it tells me it's not. So it's not real stable, and I'm not quite sure why. But that's okay. I'm going to clean it off. Oh, man, my house smells so good. Anybody ready for a Bible study or something? Because it smells so good in my house right now. could sit down and do some spiritual studying right now. All right, so that's done. I'm going to pour everything in here, including my colorant. And then I'm going to add my lye last. And this is a new technique that I learned. So I'm hoping, this is the first time me doing it, so I don't know what my stuff's going to do. I'm going to do this to thin trace and hope that it works. If I can split my 2 batters off, if I have enough time, I'm going to do that. If not, I'm just going to work with it. We'll see what happens. Because I'd like to be able to do some swirls, but I don't know that I'll get them in. I'm gonna grab my big one out of here. All right, so I'm done with my scale. I'm gonna go through my recipe one more time. Castor hemp, shea, my lye, and my color. Okay, so I'm good. I am now gonna move my book out of the way. I'm gonna make room real fast. I have to wait for this to go to clear before I can do anything. Oh, it's just about there actually. I think we got clear. Almost another minute or two and we got that at clear. I'm going to turn my scale off and put it away. Turn off. I'll just let it. It'll shut itself off after a minute. Put it away. Do a little bit of cleanup really fast and then we can do this. I've got my stick to do my thing. I've got this to mix my stuff. I've got that. I don't need any of these. These can go out of here. See what I mean? Just take that few minutes and clean up. It will make what I'm about ready to do a whole lot better. And then one thing I am going to do, but I can't get into it. I'm going to switch my camera off because my last ingredients, my key is my camera is sitting on the bucket that I need. So I'm going to swap. So bear with me for just a minute. I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier. Will that work? Yes, that'll work. All right. So this is going to be really easy to do. You're going to move for a minute. Bye. All right. And I'm going to switch you back. Hold on. I'll reposition here so you can see me. You see me okay? Well, you get a half head. I want to show you guys. I'm just going to go off camera so you can see what I'm doing with the rest of the process here. You probably see my head a little bit. All right, so there you go. My oil I'm done with. I don't need it, so that can go on my floor. I don't need some of these, so I'm going to get rid of it. I think I put them up on the counter. All right, so my box is ready to go. This is a 2-pound loaf. Actually, it's about 2.5 pounds, but I do a recipe for 2 pounds. It just works better for me, and I don't mind that it's down below a little bit. I like the smaller soaps, so they're just easier to handle. I have small hands, so even a kid can do it. And I have hands. I'm like a 5'1" woman. I guess I should go down here. I am only 5'1". I'm really short and really tiny, and so I have really small hands. And so some of the bigger soaps that you get in the stores, I can't handle them because they just slip out of my hands. And so going with a smaller bar like this really works. As you can see, I was picking up the other 2 bars. The brown bar that I haven't named yet is about the size that my bars will be. They're perfect size for small hands, which is really good. And I like to make my soaps safe for any age. But just be aware of one thing with soaps or any detergent type item. Allergies. Here again, I'm very, very skin sensitive. I have to be careful with what I do, no matter what I do. I have to. It's just the rule of thumb with me. I'm very detergent allergic. I have to use specific detergents. Otherwise, I just break out in hives. I'm that sensitive. So I was really surprised when I started working with my soaps that the new recipes that I'm using, I thought, oh, great, here we go. I'm going to have a really hard time with them. I have not broken out once with any of this. So the soaps that I'm making are extremely skin sensitive, or not skin sensitive, but they can be used with skin sensitive skin people like myself. That did not come out right. Sorry, you guys. Let me say that one more time so you understand. If you are skin sensitive, you can use my soaps. So be rest assured. But always do a skin allergy test when you get my soaps and make sure that you're okay with that. Because it's a cosmetic type item or a bath item, there are no returns on them, unfortunately, unless they're sealed and unopened. Then I can take them back. But if the seals are broken and you've used them, they are non-returnable. So please be aware of that. All right, enough of the business stuff. I'm going to go on to the soap. My lye is ready to go. I'm going to pour my oils. I'm just going to do everything in this pot here. I'm going to move my mold down a little bit. I'm going to put that oil there. And I need to get this out of the thing. And I forgot a towel. I thought I put one here, but I didn't. So here we go. All right, so I'm going to take this out if I can lift it. This gets really, really hot, so you got to be really careful with it. And I just pulled it out without turning it off. So I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to unplug it here. And I'm going to plug in my stick blender. I'm going to do this to a light trace. I am not going to do it to a heavy trace, only because I don't know how this oil is going to work with me. Untangle. Put that over there. I don't want that to dangle down. And my lye is right here, and I got to be really super careful. So I'm just going to scoot that over real quick and get this. What I'm trying to do is get my crock pot out of the way. And it's not working on me. All right, not a problem. So I'm just going to set this over here so that crock pot can cool down. I've got a thing to put my stick blender on. I'm going to scoot this back over here. What I was trying to do is pull this cord up on here a little bit. Put that on there to put some weight on it. There we go. Now we got it. We're all together. Sometimes things just don't work out. All right, so there it goes. All right, so stick blender works. We're ready to go. All right, so let's put all this together. Drip down. Thank you. All right, so now we're going to add my oils. And I am going to get all this goodness out of here. Notice what I did here. And I may just take a minute and let this. Notice the type of spatula I'm using. The type of spatula I am using is silicone. I only use silicone when I'm working with my hot soaps because they can heat resist. If you get any other type of, I got all that out of there. If you use any other type of, ooh, I got a few more drops there. All right, so if you use any other type of spatula, you run the risk of having your spatula fall apart in your batter. Only because of the heat temperatures that you're using at. With my technique, I soap above 110 because my lye is at 110, and I'm not going to test it because I know it is. I have been doing this long enough to know. So I'm leaving everything in here. I'm going to add my fragrance oil first before I add my soap. I'm going to get every last little bit of that goodness out of there. Oh my God, this smells so good in here. Even with my stuffy nose with my allergies. Notice I have not taken my gloves off either. I have left my gloves on because I have not touched my lye yet. And I probably won't take them off until after I'm done. All right, so that's finished. I'm going to put that all in. Oh, I need that spatula. Put that right there. And right now I'm just going to really quickly... I have to get another one. All right, so I'm going to really quickly blend this up. Only because I'm going to mix all this up. All right, I'm going to let that sit in there for a minute. I'm now going to add my kaolin clay. Notice I'm adding everything in but my color first. I'm going to do this to a thin trace for a reason. I want to try and do some swirls and stuff in here, but if this starts to seize up, I'm just going to abandon it and I'll just make a regular soap. So I'm just going to pour all that in there. I'm going to... I don't know if you can see this very well, but put that in my container. Just mix that in here. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, so now I'm going to scrape my bowl and get all that, because some of the kaolin clay, for whatever reason, it never does this to me. I don't know why it did it to me today. It flared up on me and it... Oh my God, this smells so good. All right, so here is, I'm almost tempted to put that color in and just do 1 bar. I think I will. All right, so my recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon. This is 1/2 teaspoon. I think I'm going to really, I want to color this up, so I'm going to add a little more. I'm using micas. A little note on micas. Make sure you are doing, there's 2 types of micas that are out there, and you have to be really careful with them. Dip that in there and get that out of there. There are those that are available for resin craft only. And I know this because I do resin craft. All right, that's going to be a really pretty color, actually. And you don't want that. Your ingredients, all of your ingredients, no matter what you do, should always be cosmetic grade. There are FDA rules, even though we are soap makers, that you have to follow no matter what. Let me add a little bit more color here. And if you don't follow the FDA rules, you don't want to go there. Let me tell you. You could ruin yourself very much. Oh, this turned out to be a sea green. Even better. Okay, so I'm not going to mix this anymore. That's a really pretty sea green. I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm kind of, well, that wasn't what I wanted, but we'll do that. I'm trying to do this a little. Just, it'll mix up more when I do this. So I want to have all this in here ready to go because that is really pretty. I don't care if it does anything. Okay, so this is completely clear, but it's still really hot. And it's clear. I'm not going to show you. Well, I was going to put it in there, but we'll put it in there for now. All right, so I'm going to pour this in. Notice what I'm doing here. I'm going to burp my stick. Oh, I won't have, but I'm going to pour it down my stick because I don't want this to splash. That is the one thing you don't want to have happen. So I'm not going to scrape this. I'm just going to pour this right in. Now I know I added all my coloring and everything in it, but that's okay. I'm going to put that back on the pad, and I'm going to go ahead and start stirring now. This is going to be really cool. I can already tell you this is going to be a nice soap. Recipe, for whatever reason, actually turned out. I could have just split it up and done a 1/2 and 1/2 color, but I'm just gonna keep mixing this. Is it a light trace right now? My soap's ready to go in. But I'm having fun mixing it, so I'm gonna mix it just a little bit. There we go. There we go. I'm done mixing. One thing you gotta be really careful is don't overmix your soaps. This is actually really not too bad. This batch is turning out really good. I could have done a double color, but I decided to do a single color at the last minute, only because I want you guys to, if you're new to this, I want you to show you one way. Okay, now see how pudding this is? This is, I don't know if you can see this, but this is perfect for me to pour in there, and I still have enough time to work with it. I have a small spatula, so I'm going to get in here and get all this yummy goodness. I don't have a bowl to put that into, so I'm going to just do this. Do some swirls and do some stuff on the top here. Oh wow, that is setting up perfectly. I am very happy with this. All right, so that is done. I'm going to unplug this just for safety reasons. My cats come by. I don't want them flying that off. I am really, really hot right now, and I've got everything done, so I'm going to take my gloves off while I pour this in. It has cooled down enough so I can lift it up. All right, so now what I'm going to do, make sure there's nothing in there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this soap directly in there. Oh my God, look at this. This is perfect. So my soap turned out perfect, which I'm really happy about. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop this out. I normally wouldn't do this, however, and like I said, I'm doing this soap for myself. Thought I saw a hair go in there, but I guess I didn't. And this is perfect. So now what I'm going to be able to do is do my top. Oh, I'm so glad I added that extra color to it. Look at that, beautiful. All right, so I'm going to stop right here. I just slid it back and forth really quick, slide back and forth, and then I gently tapped. What that does is that gets that soap into the corners, and it works really well. I'm actually hot right now. All right, so I'm going to scoop this a little more, and then I'm going to, I think what I may do this next time I do this is go to a 3-pound loaf. I think I'm going to up my recipe a little bit. This is actually turning out really nice. I'm really happy with this. Okay, so now I just have to scrape all this off here real quick. I still have enough time to work my soap. It's really nice and smooth. It's like a pudding. And that's the consistency that I wanted to work with today. It actually turned out really well. I am very happy with this soap and with this new recipe that I'm doing. It didn't seize up on me. So I'm running this a little hotter. Oops. Get that back in there. This is my own soap. If I was doing a soap for you guys, I wouldn't be scraping the edges like this, but I have a purpose of using this soap. So when I do my spiritual work, I like to wash my hands and very clean before I pick up either my Bible or my other texts that I'm reading. I have a master's in religion, and I do a lot of studying of other religions, and I'm you know, I am not prejudiced by any means with other religions. So I grew up, just a little tidbit about me. I grew up in a religion that actually hated other religions, and I grew up with a lot of hate in my life. And I have chosen in my adult life to not go back down that road. And so, oh, I need my other spatula. This is too thin. That's great for getting into corners, but I actually need to go back to this one. Okay. See, my soap is still able to work. So anyway, I just made the decision to go and learn. Yeah, I definitely need to go 3 pounds on this one. I'm going to reformulate this. I didn't realize these were bigger. If I go 3 pounds, it'll be perfect for that mold. But in the meantime, this will be shorter. But I still have time to work with it. So anyway, back to what I was saying. I grew up in a religion that was very hateful, and I decided to investigate. And it was a religion where you had to only study that religion and that religion only. So I made the decision a long time ago as a child or as an adult to leave that church. I won't mention the church's name. I don't think it's necessary, but some would call it a cult. I don't. I think it's a religion. I think unless anyway, I have my own views on cults and stuff, so I don't want to go into it here, but because I don't want to offend anybody here. But anyway, I went through and made a decision to go and work and get my master's in religion because of that experience. So I have a master's in religion. And you know what? It gave me a lot of thought. Okay, now I'm going to smooth this into the corners. Can you see what I'm doing here? I guess you can see what I'm doing here. This is soft enough that I can now, I'm just trying to get this into the corners, and then I'll do my swirlies and stuff on the top that I want to do. And then I'll put my last little bit of stuff on there. But wow, I love this soap. I am so happy with this, but I definitely need to go probably another ½ pound or something to fill this up. Trying to make sure I get it all in there, but you know, you can only get so much. And I'm piling it in the middle because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here in just a second. So anyway, all right. Oh my God, this smells so good. I cannot wait to use this soap. Oops, I'm trying to scrape this off and I keep messing up my edge. All right, I guess I just need to stop playing with it and get to it. All right, so now what I'm going to do. All right, so that's done. I'm going to let this sit for a minute. It's fine. It's not going to do anything. I'm going to put this in the sink and get this soaking. Cold water only to soak. I use Dawn dish soap to neutralize any of the oils or the fats. All right. And so that's the way that goes. That needs to soak also. Let's get that soaking. I'm cleaning up as I'm going only because it's going to make it easier for you guys. And I want you guys to see the process that I go through also when I make my soap. so that you know that the products that you get are perfect. All right, so that goes aside. I probably spent a little bit more time than I normally did, but I wanted this to be live and raw, and I wanted you guys to see my process. I need a spoon here. Like, where are all my teaspoons at? I know I have them. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the decoration on the top so you guys can see that. Can you see that okay? That's what our soap turned out to be. It's still really it's staying in place, so I can tip it up a little bit. But I still have a little bit of workability left on it. Let me see if I can pull this back. There we go. You see what I'm doing here? I don't have anybody to help me do my filming, so it's on me. And all I'm going to do, oh, this might be too much. All right. This might be just a, okay, there we go. I like this. The Nag Champa, or the Champagne that I used today, is a very earthly scent. It's got a lot of patchouli in it and other scents. Actually, this is working out really good. I like this. And like I said, I use it in my spiritual work. And I've been looking. I did not know that this scent was available, and I picked it up a while ago when I ordered some scents. Oh, I'm so happy with this soap. I love the way it's turning out. And I decided that I was going to make a bar of soap so that I can do some cleansing before I do my spiritual work. And I haven't done any spiritual work in a while, and I really wanted to get back into it, and I thought, oh God, this is the perfect way to do it. All right, so all I'm doing right now is for myself is I'm just cleaning up my edges. Ah, look at that soap. Can you see that? That turned out perfect. All right, so now what I'm going to do, if I can, I'm going to try and let's go down the road here. Really happy with this soap. It turned out really beautiful. All right, so right on the edge, I'm just going to scrape all this off. It's a soap for myself, not for you guys, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, I'm going to waste a little bit, but that's okay. I guess that's what happens when you do make soap. You have a little bit of waste no matter what. All right, and so now my last thing I'm going to do, my signature is I put a little bit, I do not put sugar or anything else in here. My husband is diabetic, and so if he chooses to do any of his spiritual work, he's going to want to use this. And so because of his diabetes, I'm not adding sugar to this, but I am going to add salt. And what I have here in this bucket, I don't know if you can see this or not, is I have Dead Sea salt, and it's coarse, it's large pieces. Can you see that? There we go. Really large pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle the top of it with this. I've added in some eco-friendly glitter. Notice with the eco-friendly glitter, I absolutely love it. And it is beautiful to use. It's all, there's nothing harmful in it. There's no plastics or other things. And I get it from a place in England. I tried to find something local that had it, but I can't find it locally. I actually found this one on Amazon, but this company has an actual website. So I'm going to order, I'm just going to pop it in just so it stays on the top there. I'm actually going to order it directly from their website because I think it'll be cheaper. I absolutely love Amazon, but sometimes they don't have the best prices. And yeah, I do a lot of shopping on Amazon, and I don't have Prime, and I probably should. So actually I should get an affiliate link and help you guys out a little bit. See if I can't get some. All right, so I'm just gonna, I don't want to do that, but I want to put some, oh, I love glitter. I have a little bit left over. I want to go get my glitter and glitter this up a little bit, because this is a soap for me, not for you guys, but this is my signature. This is the way my soaps will come. I will put this rock salt and this glitter on the top. As you see, I have a huge it's a 10-pound bucket of it, and this is how I'm going to be decorating my my soaps. So you get to see that too. Let me grab this glitter. I just had it in my hand a minute ago, or not. Oh, yep, there it is. The eco-friendly. I'll share this with you because I really like this. This is eco-friendly. It's by Hemway. I'll share this tidbit with you guys because I really like this company and plug into these guys. These guys make the best eco glitter I've ever found. And they are in England, so they're not local. But, and I'm going to sprinkle this on top because I like glitter in my soaps. DJ doesn't necessarily like glitter, but I like glitter. And this is making this for me. So I am so happy with my soap. After yesterday of having 2 of my soaps seize on me and to have this turn out so perfectly, I'm very happy with my technique. I have now gotten my technique back down again. This is a new technique with me. I usually do a different process, but I've found that soap makers, it's been a really long time since I've done this soap, so, or this type of soap, I should say. And so I haven't really done a lot of research, but I'm so glad to see that the industry has actually advanced as well as it has. I should put that in the bucket so I've got it together. And I'm very happy with this. Now, just so you know, the specific recipe that I do, I'm going to pop this in my oven overnight. I'm going to set my oven to 170. I'll go down here because I don't feel like moving my camera. I'm going to put my oven at 170. I'm going to leave this in there overnight. So here's how I prep my oven. Everything is out of my oven, including my cast iron pans, which I do leave in there. And usually if I'm baking or cooking, I leave them in there and then I'll keep them seasoned. And that's another great tip for cast iron. If you use it, I'll have to do a video on that one too. But anyway, moving on. I'm going to heat my oven to the lowest temperature. For my oven, it's 170. And then I'm going to turn it off. And then I'm going to put the soap in there and I'm going to leave it in there until tomorrow. Tomorrow, you want to leave your soaps for 24 hours before you cut them. A full 24 hours. So I don't know what the time is now, but I will check. And it's from the time that you finish until the time that it goes. If you pick up your soap and your soap is completely cooled, then you should be able to cut your soap with no problem. I'm going to do another video and do a short one. And what I'll do is I'll cut my bars up that I've made the past couple of days. And then I will also show you the new products that are coming out. I'll do that video tomorrow because I can't do anything with this right now. It does have to sit. But if I was to just leave this soap the way it is, it's ready to go. It's done. It's soap. It's finished. But I want this to solidify so I can cut it. I'm going to cut this within 24 to 48 hours. If I leave it too much longer, there's a lot of myths out there about your soaps and some recipes. Yes, you have to leave for several months or even a year before you cut them up. This specific recipe that I do, and I'm going to actually redo it for you guys, and I'll do another video and do a new recipe for you guys so you've got it. And what will happen? Okay, let me back up here. I'm losing track of what I'm doing here. I apologize. Soaps, some say that you have to leave them for 3 or 4 months before you can cut them, or a year, or even up to 3 weeks. I've been able to cut my soaps with this recipe within 24 hours. So I leave them for a full 24 hours. I fudged it at 22. I'm better off to leave them for 24 hours because